Hi, for your Thankful Thursday, sitting in for National Sales Director Kristen Sharp. I am that raging Cajun, Dana Blanchard from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I am the daughter of Senior National Sales Director Emeritus Wilda DeCaligon. My mom was $1 million director, the first in the state of Louisiana, and the fourth ever in the history of Mary Kay to do the million, and she did it with a unit size of under 100. Isn't that crazy? So I had the privilege of growing up in Mary Kay. When I was 3, my mom joined Mary Kay. She was a home ec teacher looking to make an extra $50 a week. And in her starter kit came, so many things for our family. So back in the day, and I'm going to date myself now, in her starter kit came a 78 record. You might have heard about this record, or as my daughter would call it today, a vinyl. And on one side was Booking, Coaching, and Recruiting by Mary Kay. And on the other side was Susie Vickers and the Vickaroos. Yes, our same Susie Vickers that our Go-Give is named after. Susie Vickers and the Vickaroos made a hit list of popular tunes that they changed to fit with Mary Kay lyrics. They sang about Mary Kay of Texas. They had songs that made you sing along and made you just believe that anything in the world was possible. They were upbeat, fun, peppy, and you just couldn't help but think that you were going to the top in Mary Kay when you sang them. Many days were spent with my mom and I doing things around the house, listening to Booking, Coaching, and Recruiting by Mary Kay over and over again, and then turning it over and singing the little songs. Mom would listen diligently, and then she would get on the phone to start booking, and she would do exactly as Mary Kay said, and she couldn't quit until she got a yes or was on a positive note. So I listened and pretty sure that I was very well trained in Booking, Coaching, and Recruiting by Mary Kay by the age of 4. In fact, when I started kindergarten, my teacher asked us what songs we knew how to sing, and I very proudly raised my hand and said, Mary Kay Enthusiasm. I'm sure that was a door opener for my mom to give that teacher a facial. So some years later, I was at seminar, this time as a beauty consultant, and I noticed that our old familiar songs that would pop up on the seminar stage were kind of eliminated from the playlist. I didn't even hear that year our favorite, one of my favorites, It's Not Where You Start, It's Where You Finish. They just kind of did an instrumental. So I wrote a letter to Mary Kay saying how I was disappointed in not hearing those familiar songs. And guess what? She wrote me back. I actually have a little treasure trove of some special letters from Mary Kay in my office. I was fortunate enough that she and my mom spent many times together. And so I have this letter here, and I just wanted to read it to you. Dearest Dana, I have read your most thrilling and intriguing letter, and I have often said the greatest legacy Mary Kay Cosmetics will leave are our Mary Kay kids. You have been a Mary Kay kid almost all of your life. The influence of your beautiful mom has had is indicative of the wonderful person you have become. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You are following right straight in her footsteps. I'm so glad your whole life has been spent with wonderful extras because of your mom's career. You know that you can offer that same kind of life you have enjoyed to your children one of these days. I was thrilled to hear that the 2020 challenge that had come out that year, the 2020 challenge gave you insight into what your Mary Kay career could actually be. It would be thrilling to see you come across the stage at seminar as a member of the 2020 Club and a DIQ. One of these days, it will be my pleasure to put that crown on your head at seminar, just as I have done so many times for your precious mom. Yes, I agree with you. I, too, am sad that somehow along the way, our old songs that we valued as tradition are no longer used. I'm going to pass your letter on to the people who are preparing the program for seminar. Maybe they'll hear you. I sincerely hope so. Thank you for writing such a lovely letter to me. It brightened my day. Please give your wonderful mom and dad a great big hug and kiss from me. Lovingly, Mary Kay. I came across this letter recently, and I just was so reflective and grateful, of course, to Mary Kay. And I do have those kids now that Mary Kay mentioned in that letter. And my husband and I have raised our kids with 2 goals for their extracurricular activities. First, play a sport, and second, play an instrument. So my 13-year-old daughter plays varsity, she just found out today, volleyball. And she had a little stint with the violin and discovered that she's a very gifted singer. My son played high school basketball. He's now a college senior. He plays the guitar by ear. And he just released his first co-written EP with up-and-coming singer-songwriter Mia Montero called Second Last on Spotify. And music has played an important part in our lives. My husband and I, neither one of us are musical, but the power of music is woven through our lives, because I remember back to my mom having courage after listening to those little crazy Mary Kay songs. She'd listen to the songs and then pick up that heavy phone and start dialing. I remember Mary Kay saying often she herself would, raising 3 children by herself, would get ready and get to her Sunday service. And by the time she sat in the pew, she was so frazzled, just wondering why she was even there, and not even kind of mad. And once the music would start, then everybody got in the spirit, and she was filled with grace and ready to worship. And she often carried that same thought into her sales meetings. That's why she began to start her sales meetings with music and songs, because she found that women would come in frazzled after a full day, and it would instantly change the mood once you pick up the mood with music. During leadership several years ago, I heard Kathy Halou share how she started her day with music, and that no other distraction, just music, moved her soul. And I came home and made this immediate change, and my whole house began to wake up differently. We started the day differently. We all seemed to have a better edge doing that. So I learned that your playlist, what's your playlist? Your music to motivate can really change things for you in your life. According to psychologists, they really don't know why the connections in the brain between music and emotion exist. They haven't narrowed down those pathways. But there are psychologists in England that have been studying for more than 20 years to understand, and they've discovered that athletes that listen to music are over 15% greater productive they have a greater output of endurance, and they're more productive than their counterparts who don't listen to music. They've studied this for over 20 years, and they can see the effects that music has on motivation. It stimulates athletes during competition, it improves pace, and they actually have noticed that, and have statistics that athletes disassociate from sensations of fatigue when they are listening to the music that motivates them. So what music motivates you? What is your playlist? What's your one song? Do you have that song that you dream of that Mary Kay's going to play when you walk out on stage to debut as a national sales director? Do you have that playlist that you get up to in the morning and it just energizes and drives you to be the best you that you can be? What's your playlist? What are you feeding yourself with and getting yourself pumped up with to start your day, to start your phone time? Pick that great song, pick that great music, turn it on, and give yourself a fantastic start to the day and even more productive phone and booking time. I've enjoyed sharing with you today. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.